All right. What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the 4 most important softwares that you should be using on your websites for SEO to maximize efficiency and understand where your website is and where it's going. So here's the 4 main things you should be using. Google Analytics. It's a very simple thing that you add for Investor Carrot. You simply, from your dashboard, go to Settings. You add it as a header script. Make sure you click Save up here for your Google Analytics tracking ID, universal tracking IDs only. Save it up there. You need to make sure you save the header and footer down here. So Google Analytics, once you get the universal code, it simply goes into your header script, and that's all you got to do. Click Save down here and you're good to go. For Microsoft Clarity, it's the same thing as well. Enable to set up Microsoft Clarity to record people as they're on your website, everywhere they move, everywhere they click. It's pretty amazing. As well as heat maps, you need to put a tracker into the header as well. Same exact mission right there. With Google Search Console, after you're verified with Google Analytics, it should be as easy as linking your Google Analytics account, and then boom, you're going to be inside Google Search Console. If you're not able to that way, you could also add HTML into your website. I believe there's a way to add it into the header, or you can go into your actual DNS records. I believe it's DNS records on your host registrar of your website, like GoDaddy, SiteCheck, Bluehost, places like that. You'd go and change DNS records to show a text record to verify your Google Search Console. And then the most powerful, the best one, which really, this is all you really need truly for SEO, is SiteChecker. This is the only one, of course, you do have to pay for. I'm not an affiliate for them, but these are the pricing plans right here for you, just so you kind of know the general. Is it going to refresh here? The general consensus here. So you can get 3 websites, 150 keywords for 19 bucks. For 29 bucks, you can get 500 keywords. That's what I use. And then if you have 1,000 keywords, it's $69 a month. I would love to have this one, but I don't want to pay $70 a month just to track keywords. I figure I'm not going to have more than 500 money keywords right now, so I only have the $29 plan. So now that I've explained the 4 softwares that you really need to have, Google Analytics is free, Microsoft Clarity is actually free, and Google Search Console, again, is free. This is the only paid one. It's $20 per month or $30 per month if you have the package that I have. So let's go ahead and go in depth in how each software is actually beneficial for SEO and also for your website. So for Google Analytics here, you're going to get real-time analysis. So the last half an hour, I actually had a bunch more. Now it dropped down to 0, but I wish I could have shown you as that was happening. You'd actually see live people and how they're moving around your website. But it's been 30 minutes, so you can't see that live analysis. You would literally see minute by minute as people would come onto and off your website. It would be really good for like Facebook ads and stuff like that, to where you could actually see a heat map, so to speak, of when people actually visit your website. Next thing we're going to talk about is engagement. So when you're under engagement, you can simply go to the overview, and from the overview, you're able to see the average engagement time, the average engagement time per session, and let's see, the top pages down here. So you can see the most popular page is the home page. And then off-market investor leads, I ran some Facebook ads to that one. How to get out of a mortgage, walk away and avoid foreclosure. That one got a lot of clicks right there. And we buy houses in cash. So you can kind of see which page is actually up and running, doing the best right there. You could also set filters to see which ones are doing better specifically for Google, for SEO. And then of course, events. What are people actually doing on your website? Video progress is funny because I actually don't have any videos on my website. Actually, I do. There's one in the review section, just one video. So that was played 4 times in the past month or so. You could set a different time up here. If you want to set, the past week, the past couple days of all time, you can go look at your data of all time. You can see the amount of page views you get, user engagement, session starts, if they ever scroll, first visit, all that stuff. And user stickiness, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure it's a valuable metric right there. The main thing I really care about is keeping my session time well over 30 seconds, closer to a minute. Let's go ahead and go to acquisitions. So in acquisitions, we'll go to overview, and you could see some stuff like referrals, organic, what websites or UTM parameters were used. So Memphis, nerds. So a nerdy photo was used in refinance and repairs on a Facebook ad for Nashville and Memphis. All of that was stuffed into a UTM parameter because that was the audience, that was the ad set audience. So now for that UTM parameter, I know exactly how many new users I had based on that individual UTM parameter in the past 30 days or whatever time frame you have. And then you can see your actual organic traffic. Referral can be referral from Facebook, Pinterest, basically like your social referrals. And none means someone just typed in your website, most likely. Like copy paste your website into the URL up top here. So really you could just focus on organic if you wanted to, or referral if you're doing Facebook ads or some kind of social media ads. That covers that for acquisitions. So if we go down to user acquisition, we could actually click on specific things. Like we could see direct links are the most popular. It's most likely me or my VAs going directly to my website or other people looking at my website. Referral from Facebook usually, and organic. We can just click on organic if we want to. Same thing with down here. We could just click on and look at all of the organic stuff. As far as what you would look here for organic, the main concern is going to be your engagement rate. So you want people to be engaged every session. So if you have 10 sessions, you want preferably more than 5, more than half of those people to actually be engaged, to click, to interact, to scroll. You want some kind of engagement to actually happen. Now the actual average time spent engaging is also important. So you could see referrals or Facebook, it tends to be 2 minutes. Organic tends to be a little bit over a minute, which is really good. You don't want people to have an average engagement time of 30 seconds and then leave. That means you don't have a good website. And you can build a good website, we'll get to it in a minute, by using Microsoft Clarity and recording user sessions. And that's kind of the most important part there. And then you could also go to demographics, which is pretty interesting, to the overview. You can see what countries have come in. You can click on and select very specific countries if you want to. You can see what languages are typically spoken. You can go and view the cities. This is going back a month. So you can see the amount of clicks. So Mountain View, Roseville, and Parsons seems to be standing out. Nashville, a city I would advertise in, and Houston, that's probably just SEO right there. I never advertised to Houston. You can see it down here on, instead of this chart up here, you could just see it on a chart down here, and you could actually see the engagement rate, the average engagement time. You could see who are the most engaged people. Houston was on for a minute. Phoenix was on for 2 minutes. And there was 4 sessions. So maybe Green Acres in Phoenix, for some reason, maybe I should focus more on that on my SEO pages, or see what maybe that page is doing differently. Like let's say if every single city page that I made was a little different, what makes people stay on 2 minutes and 3 minutes versus 15 seconds? I should go analyze that with the session recorder and see, hey, should I make every page look like my Phoenix page? Maybe I'm doing something right with that page. Let me go look at it. So that's what Google Analytics would be useful for. In the end, should you log into it every day? No, like once a week if you kind of want some basic overview data of your website. Let's go ahead and dig into Microsoft Clarity now. So this is from the main dashboard. It's only for the last 3 days. Let's go ahead and do the last 30 days. I always like to add a filter of country because I'm in Mexico right now. My virtual assistant's in the Philippines, and people usually search for SEO in the United States. So if I just do United States, I actually remove myself and my virtual assistant from the heat maps and the recordings. So luckily for me, I could do that. You could also in analytics, won't talk about it in this video, but you could actually remove your IP addresses from your phone, your personal computer, and all that good stuff. And you can actually prevent your own viewing of your website from showing up in the data and the analytics. That'd be a separate video. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, and find out how to do that. All right, so in Microsoft Clarity, we have 30 days in the United States on dashboard. Kind of gives us some basic information. Let's kind of go over that basic info. So you could see engagement time right here, 3.5 minutes total, on average 46 seconds. They're active, actually moving for 46 seconds. So that might mean that they're scrolling down the website. As an example, they'll scroll down the website and they'll read, not move. That's not active. So it's okay if they're not active. What really matters is the total total session time at the end of the day. How long are they actually staying on your website and interested in your website? Something also interesting is dead clicks. If you wanted to see the recordings for dead click, what is a dead click? Let's click on one and go ahead and see what that is. So if I skip inactivity, this will actually jump around when they stop moving. You can see they're clicking on something there. They click on nothing there. I don't see whether, was this a rage click? Oh, a dead click. Oh, so they're just clicking on open space. I think that just happens sometimes. So this person clicked 30 times. So they're doing a lot of dead clicks. These look like a rage click. They're pissed off down here. What did they click on? Oh, okay. What are you doing? That's weird. But it's really cool how you can see this stuff. Okay, interesting, whatever that was. But you can go through and you could see all of these dead clicks if you wanted to. You can go and see rage clicks. Rage clicks are actually pretty funny, and this lets you know where you're, oh my God, 50 clicks, where people want your website to be better, and you'll never know unless you have Microsoft Clarity. You'll never know this. So let's go ahead and fast forward to where these rage clicks might be. Clicking on the form. Okay, that's weird. Let's go look over here where there's a cluster of clicks down here. Wow, they're just, this person loves the click. Is there a rage click? They must, yeah. I mean, that, I wouldn't consider that a rage click. What are they doing? Wow, that's so many clicks. That's good. That's honestly, in the end though, this is actually good for us, Google, and for search, because Google is thinking, wow, people love to click on this website. But it's not going to be good if they keep clicking in the same spot, like expecting to click to call you, and they're not able to call you. That would be like a rage click and a dead click. So let's go ahead and see if, I don't really see any valid. It's like that's like what the last person did. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a rage click. I think maybe somebody was trying to copy my website or something. That possibly could have been my VA. So dead clicks, as you can see here, user clicked or tapped on a page with no effect actually happening. Rage click is when they rapidly click or tap in the same small area rapidly, aggressively. And then excessive scrolling is when they're going through a page way faster than they're expected to be doing that. And quickbacks are pretty important. It means when they go to your website, they quickly push back like on a phone and they're like, nope, that's not the right website. That's not good when it comes to Google search. You don't want quickbacks. So a really interesting thing is if we come down here to filters, you could sort by referrers if you want to. And I'd like to type in google.com and look at the data now. So as you can see, there's only 2% clickbacks. So there were a couple people who clicked on my website and went back, but that's a really small percentage. I'm okay with that. You got some dead clicks also from Google, from SEO specifically. No excessive scrolling or rage clicks. So it looks like people are happy when it comes to Google SEO. I could probably find out what these quickbacks were and improve them. As an example, let's just go see what one of those were. So step 2 of the form, that's fine because they became a lead. Sell my house fast, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's not a quickback. How is that a quickback? So I think that was documented wrong because they're clicking all over my website. And this is 39 seconds. I don't see how any of these are quickbacks. So those aren't actually bad. They had more than 30 seconds on their website. That's good. So, if they're spending more than 30 seconds on your website, that's not really bad. They probably went to a different page on my website and then clicked to go back to the original page. That's not that bad. So really, I have no bad quickbacks. They didn't click on my page from Google search and then leave right away. That's a bad quickback. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about recordings here. So google.com last 30 days. Generally, it'll be today or the last 3 days. So you could just do today. Wow, quite a few. We can sort by United States only. We could also sort by only google.com searches. If you wanted to, you could sort by rage clicks, dead clicks, excessive scrolling, quickbacks, PC, tablet, all that good stuff. You could say, oh, I wanted them to click on my page more than 3 times because people who click 3 times are clicking name, phone, address, click to submit. So you do 4 clicks to submit a lead form. So if you only want to see people who click 3 times, basically those are people who became a lead. So just to give you an example, let's do the past 30 days, people who click 3 times, and we'll see basically everyone who became a lead. So thank you page, step 2 page, thank you page, step 2. So all these people became leads because they clicked over 3 times. You could filter by that, and that's basically a really good way to track your leads as an example. Let's go ahead and look at this one. So that one did not become a lead, maybe Arizona. And that one became a lead. So what did they do before? Let's find out. So if you're trying to optimize your website, just to give you an example, they're reading. And they scroll down, it says sell to a cash buyer. Okay. They're reading a little bit more. Like, no, I'm happy. Sell to a cash buyer. That's all I needed to hear. That's why I have that up top. This website is specifically designed. When you come here, after you see this, the first thing you see is sell to a cash buyer. This is optimized for SEO, for a different word now though. But the reason I do that is because people would scroll and this image would be this image. So instead of people scrolling to look at that image to convert them quicker, more efficiently, I just put the image they kept looking at, the description they kept reading. They would hover over 0 fees, so I underlined it. They would hover over 7 to 28 days, so I underlined it. They would look around no repairs and click right here, so I underlined it. I made it easier for people to have a better user experience on my website, and then I put this right below the lead form. So really, when you visit my website, maybe you read this, you're like, I don't think I want to give them my information. Oh, these sell for cash, close quickly, no repair. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I will give them my information. That's the thought process behind it, and you could only find that out by using clarity.microsoft.com. Links down in the description. Let's go ahead and start talking about Google Search Console now. Against Google Search Console, you could just attach it to Google Analytics, or you could do the DNS records. But once you have it verified, there are quite a few things you could do on here that you can't do on other places. It's not the prettiest thing to look at for the performance area right here, but let's go ahead and break down what you need to know about Google Search Console. So the overview is basically the basic performance. So how many clicks have you had over the lifetime, I guess, which for me is like 2 months. And the coverage, which is basically how many websites are valid and how many websites are broken. So you can see over time, I really pushed out a lot of city pages, and I'm leveling out right now around 150. But as you can see, the red line, I have 0 error broken pages. You could also come down to coverage. If you want to see your active pages, go to valid and then go to submitted and indexed. And then you'll be able to see the last time your most recent page was crawled and what page was it. This is really important to know if Google is still actively crawling your website. 5 days ago was the last time they crawled my website. So maybe I should resubmit a sitemap. Maybe I can go back and resubmit some of these older sites that haven't been crawled in a while. I could resubmit them. We'll talk about that in a minute, how you can do that. Let's go ahead and talk about performance. So this is mostly about keywords over here and where your keywords rank. You actually have to click average position to see the position in the rank. This is going to be averaged over a 3-month period by default, but you could set the most recent date. This is 1 day, and this is the average position that keyword was in over the course of that 1 day. You could see all the data has gone away because it's all the data from 1 day. So you could sort by, if you want to, sort by average position. You could also sort by impressions, so the most impressions, or 1 impression. I don't like looking at data from 1 impression. It likes to give me a false positive. Like when there's no searches or 10 searches and I have 1 impression, it'll say I'm ranked like 1, 2, or 3, but really it's like a false positive. If you're ranked number 1, 2, 3, and you have a lot of impressions, at least over 10 for the real estate category, that means you're really onto something for that keyword. So position 7.9 yesterday. What's the date for the most recent date? The 9th, yesterday. Go back to queries. We could see position 7.9, basically 8, 2 from the bottom on page 1. Volume 2,900, cost per click $50. Competitiveness on Google PPC, not for SEO, is basically 10%, which is very low. The trend has a peak and a valley. It's kind of calming down. 40 impressions on page 1 for Sell My House Fast Milwaukee. So I can click on this keyword if I wanted to, go from most recent date to last 30 days, and I could see the path over time. Has it grown? Has it gone lower? Has it gone higher? So you could see when it first started this city page, it was number 80, and then I did some work and it came up to the 30s, and then it went down a little bit, and then I did some more work recently with some kind of like secret ninja stuff, embedding stuff into the images and really optimizing the back end. And it went from 20s to 10 to now page 1, slowly crawling up without Google Maps, without a physical address, without anything. But I'm ranking page 1, slowly crawling up to the top 5, just based on on-page SEO and optimization. So if you wanted to, you can actually go to this page right here. So pages, Sell My House Fast Milwaukee. You can select this page specifically, remove the query keyword. Now you're looking at all the keywords from the past 3 months for this page. Go back to queries, and now you can see all of the keywords, keywords from the past 3 months. You can see which one is actually retaining the highest position over those 3 months, maybe which one has the most impressions and clicks. And if you ever have the search volume cost per click disappear, just toggle between 3 months, 28 days, and 7 days until it appears. It's just a little bug that happens. All right, so let's see if there's anything else to talk about in here. Average position, impressions, sort by clicks, page tab, sitemaps. All right, let's get down to the good stuff. So I think I gave you a general consensus on how to move around here. Really, you basically just want to go in on pages. You see, let's see, what has the most impressions and on the most recent date. And you could see the most impressions was my main page. Or I'm curious about Dallas. Let's see, Sell My House Fast Dallas is starting to climb ranks. So we go to queries now that we're on the page Sell My House Fast Dallas. We can see the impressions is Sell My House Fast Dallas and Dallas, Texas, and Sell My House Fast, Sell My House Dallas, not fast, just Sell My House. And it's really up there. It's like page 5, 6, 7. This one is up pretty high, Ugly Houses Dallas. I could sort by position and see if there's any top positions. Remember, I ignore impression 1. So 2 and 3, page 2, Ugly Houses Dallas. We Buy Ugly Houses Dallas, Texas, and We Buy Ugly Houses Dallas, TX. So I'm on page 2, page 3 for those. Not really too big of a deal. But if you toggle between 7 days, 30 days, you could see the volume for those keywords. It actually is pretty high for the amount of impressions. Some of these keywords are like crazy expensive, like $100, and the volume is pretty high. So let's go ahead and actually talk about the real important stuff with Google Search Console, what Google Search Console is actually all about, and that's sitemaps. So for Carrot specifically, what is Carrot's sitemap? It's literally this. So if you don't have this already, this is what it is. So your website / sitemap_index.xml. So if you type this and hit submit, last read on the 10th, now it will reread your website today. So this was when it was last submitted. You could submit, resubmit, and then it actually reads your website shortly after that, and it discovers all the URLs inside your sitemap. If you have Carrot, it does it for you automatically, quickly, same as WordPress. Now, if you want to go to your website, and let's just say like this one, this is a new little fun SEO page I just made. I just shoved it to show you with SEO in one click. I just shoved it with a bunch of very low competition keywords just to see what would happen. And this is basically just filled with low competition keywords just to see how quickly I can climb the ranks with these low competition long tail keywords.
Are you looking to get into SEO or Google PPC? Maybe you're building your website right now. I've completed 80 hours of heavy duty research already done for you. Check out my huge list of 42,000 keywords for SEO and PPC. You'll get the best FAQ search phrases, such as who, can, and how search phrases. And the list of 42,000 keywords will be your Bible for site optimization or PPC campaigns. This list took me over 20 hours to compile, and you could download it instantly. Links in the description below. Down below, you'll also find a list of 500 top ranking real estate websites. This is a Goliath of data. I compiled all 50 states, page 1, top 10 results into one single spreadsheet. You'll find your competitors' page load speed, ranking position, website links, Facebook links, any videos they use, and their backlink profiles. If you want to download any of these spreadsheets, check the links in the description or my...
So I haven't submitted this. I actually have, but if I haven't, I can come to Google Search Console, submit one URL for it to actually be indexed. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to retrieve the data from Google Index. It's going to say, hey, this URL is not on Google. It's not known to Google. So this is how we could index one individual URL. We're going to test the live URL first. That way we can actually have it re-crawled live. I think it helps a little bit because when I do it this way, it seems to be updated and indexed a lot faster. Now I have 150 pages. You're limited to doing this up to 10 times per day. So I can't do it for all 150 pages, right? So I have to choose which websites, which pages to do it for. If you open up availability, you can see that now it was just crawled. It was successful. It allows indexing. It is user declared canonical. It will be determined if it is canonical or not a duplicate after it decides if it should be indexed. So basically, I'm just waiting for it to be indexed, not necessarily. I actually still need to request indexing right over here. And as soon as I do that, it'll say, okay, the URL was added to the queue, but submitting it multiple times, it's not going to change the position. And so I just submitted this like 2 or 3 times now, but it's not going to change the position. Anywhere between 1 and hopefully not, but up to like 10 days it'll take for this to get indexed. So after I do 10 pages individually, if I just made 10 new pages, I'll go to sitemap after that, and I will resubmit this sitemap also. So I will submit 10 individual pages and then update the sitemap. So it basically says, crawl these individual pages and index them, please. And also just reindex my whole website and sitemap for anything you want to crawl. So, I mean, that basically covers it all for Google Search Console. Let me just double check on my notes over here. Yep, sitemap for WordPress and index, individual indexing, and yeah, all good to go on that. So the grand finale really here, we're almost at the 30-minute mark, is SiteChecker. So this was all free tools. All that information I just gave you was all 100% free stuff. The hard part is setting it up. If you need help setting it up, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know, and me and my virtual assistant team will help you set up these free ones. We'll even, set you up for this, but you could just, use your email and plug it in, because this is a pay service, $20 per month for SiteChecker. All right, so let's go ahead and break down what's important about SiteChecker. So from the dashboard, once you're paying for the service, you could actually see all the traffic that comes in. You could see what traffic is organic, because this is all about SEO, really, is what this website's about. Then you could see your website score. So let's imagine one day you change a URL slug. A URL slug is right here. If you change this, and on your home page, it has a bunch of links going to that page, but you change the URL slug, now your site is broken. But you'll never know it's broken because you're busy doing other things. Or maybe someone else goes on and changes this URL slug for you, but they don't go to your home page and change the referral link right here, the hyperlink, so it clicks and goes to that page. So maybe they forgot to do that. And then all of a sudden, your website score goes from 80 down to 40 or 20 or 30 or whatever, because you have broken links. This is going to tell you if you have broken links or not. So it'll scan your website daily. It is really incredible, really awesome, really useful for SEO. So you can keep that score preferably above 80. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what you could see here. You could see the analysis of search engine ranking position or protocol. And you could basically see, if we simplify this, you could see all your top 1 positions, all your top 3 positions over time. So December, I had 0, and then I had 9, and then 10, and then 10. What do I have in the top 10? Well, in January, I had like 15 on page 1. Now I have 60 on page 1, and now I have over 80 on page 1. Keep in mind, this is only 500 keywords. I have thousands of keywords I'm ranking some position from like 1 to 100 on Google now for. And then you can see top 30. Right here, this dip is when I changed out my keywords. So I went to Google Search Console, Performance. I went to like the past 7 days and United States only, just to give you an example to update your keywords for what you're currently ranking for. I did United States in the last 7 days. And if you scroll down, it says 1,000. So geez, that's a lot of keywords just for the past 7 days. So what if I just do, the past 7 days, and we go from like the 6th to the 9th, just 3 days. That's still 1,000 keywords. So you can see like I'm overflowing with keywords right now. So what I had to do is I had to download an Excel spreadsheet, sort by position or by impressions. I think I did impressions, and everything that was above 5 impressions, I used those keywords to put into my dashboard now. That's why you see a dip and it reset a lot higher, because I basically put in the most relevant keywords that are getting high impressions. And I think it's good and healthy to do that, like maybe once a week, at least once a month. So you're getting those fresh keywords from Google Search Console that you're now ranking for. That's not even the cool part. So these are just some like fancy graphs if you want to look at them and go more in depth. You could add in your top keywords, your 5 main keywords if you wanted to see your position every single day today. So I'm up on all my keywords. Something magical happened the past couple of days, I guess. And I'm up 1 position. I'm up 3 positions on Milwaukee, 8 positions on We Buy Ugly Houses reviews, which is my review section. And Summer House Fast Denver, I'm up 4. So I'm up positive, all positive today. It's kind of like stocks, but SEO, not stocks. So let's go ahead and talk about the next thing here so it doesn't go on too long. We have Site Audit. I think it's recrawling right now, but a site audit will basically tell you all of the errors on your website. Critical, you need to fix. Warnings, you should look into. Twitter card doesn't matter. Alt text does matter. So the image alt text. When you go to a website and you, as an example, SEO Meta in 1 click, you go to images, you could see, okay, well, one of my images is step 1, 2 PNG. Maybe I should change that to sell my house fast. Step 1, maybe this could be optimized better. Like it says, I need to sell my house ASAP for cache step 1. Maybe I should be naming the image that too. Maybe I could embed stuff and GPS coordinates into these images also. Close icon PNG avatars for the bot down there. So most of these are optimized, but I could see which ones are not optimized. It's really, really important. But it also shows you right here, hey, you got 12 pages that don't even have an alt text, which is what I just showed you. And on 3 pages, most likely from when I started Carrot, there are duplicates for the description, for the alt description, alt title of the page. They're duplicates. So you don't want duplicates. You want to rank for different keywords on different pages. To give you an example, my home page is ranking for need to sell my house ASAP. We Buy Houses Reviews is ranking for We Buy Houses Reviews. You cannot rank every single one of your pages on your website for need to sell my house ASAP. Because if you could do that, you'd be the only one who shows on Google. To give you an example that this is impossible, need to sell my house ASAP, my default is 100 listings here on Google. ASAP cash offer. I only show up once right there. Ooh, number 4. I should be between number 2 and 3. But yeah, I will only show up once because one website is only allowed one position on one search term. So optimize every page for a different keyword is really, really important. A huge golden nugget I'll give you for SEO right there. So that's site monitoring, site audit, very, very important. Site monitoring is what we'll talk about next. And this is honestly, like, imagine if you made a change and your website went from like rank 2 to page 2, rank 19, like at the bottom of page 2. How would you know what happened? You could actually go in and see, okay, well today, that's when my rank plummeted. February 6th, I made these changes. What changes happened? Okay, I changed a title, I changed a description. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe that's why my website dropped down. And you can see what time it happened, on what day. This is really incredible for troubleshooting or for your technical person on the back end, your website guy, your SEO guy. This is really awesome to see what actually changed and happened. You probably messed something up on accident. If it's for on-page SEO, if it's for backlinks, who knows? Maybe someone removed your backlink. I don't think you could track that through here though. What you're actually going to be purchasing $20 to $30 a month for SiteChecker is this rank tracker. This is the only thing I really care about. So as you can see here, this is when I was just using default keywords using my own brain. And then when I transferred the top keywords that actually show up in Google Search Console, boom, it actually skyrocketed. So now I'm tracking actual valuable keywords that I'm getting impressions and top ranks for. So now I'm really getting juicy data just now at the end of January. You could actually sort by rank right here, which is pretty cool. You can see which ones you are currently top rank for. Default in your settings up here, you could set it to search for United States, which is what I have. You could also set it to search for, let's say, San Diego, California, if you wanted to. That way, whenever it crawls and updates your rank, it's doing it from a proxy in San Diego, California. I only care about United States, so I just put United States by default, and it just searched my broad keywords from a United States IP address. So as you can see here, you can see the current rank, red and green, if it went up or down. So I could see Sell My House Quickly, Inglewood, it was 15, 15, 15. And just today it jumped, whoa, Jesus. It jumped up from page 2, position 6 to page 1, position 3. So that's pretty cool, but there's 0 search volume, so who cares? And then my money keyword, need to sell my house ASAP. It's been pretty flat, stable between 2, 3, goes around 4. It really just floats around depending on the day, which is good. You don't want it to drop to page 2 randomly. And need to sell my house ASAP, flat line around 2. And sell my houses ASAP, no search volume, don't care. But you could actually sort by all these important metrics. You could sort by what your best rank was on February 4th. It tracks your daily rank, so 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. 10th is today. Today is your current rank. It lets you know from yesterday to today if you went up or down. You could also sort by all rankings right here. You could sort by top 1, 2, 3, top 10, top 30, top 50, or 100. You could sort by if it moved up today. So let me look at all the keywords that have actually moved up today. Now let me sort by the top ranking keywords that moved up today. So am I doing that? Let's see. So those are my bad keywords around the 50s. Moved up 10 positions though, that's pretty good. So Phoenix, Arizona. And just to give you an idea of what you could do to troubleshoot, when you're scrolling down, you could see, holy crap, We Buy Ugly Houses Knoxville. I was in the 40s, and then my GPS embedded photos must have just been indexed on Google today. Google must have crawled my website because I went from 44 to 9 to page 1, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And to give you an idea of what I mean by that, it's going to be really hard to actually explain and really give you the secret sauce, but just to give you a taste of what doing proper SEO, on-page SEO will do. So Knoxville. So I used to have images, and this image was called old people holding cash. Now if you save this image, it's sell my house fast, Knoxville, Tennessee, couple holding cash. So obviously I'm optimizing for a keyword there, right? Now if I also go to SEO in one click and I go to images, you could see the same thing where the people holding cash is also We Buy the alt text, which Google crawls. So it's very important for SEO. We Buy Houses Cash, Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a keyword. All of the alt text is a different keyword. You notice they're all different. Step 1, step 2, step 3, they're all different, but I didn't name the image like I should have, but you know, it's still optimized. And on top of that, when you download this image, I'm not sure if it's going to show it to us. But when you look at this image on properties and details, there's keywords inside the image. How ninja is that? This is called EXIF data. I even put a copyright on here, so if someone steals my image, I could search for it and I could find them. And then if I scroll down, there's actually hidden GPS coordinates. And it actually says the local city for Knoxville. It'll say a subdirectory, like let's say City Heights, which is a sub-city in Knoxville, which is in Tennessee or Kentucky, which is in the United States. And then I put GPS tags in the photo, and then I optimized the photo to hell. And then guess what that did? That brought me from the 40s and 50s, which is like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to rank local SEO unless I go get a Google My Business. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't optimized images max yet. So I did that. And now I'm going to start to be on page 1 for all of my city pages, which is, I'm so happy about that. That's going to be incredible once I have these main keywords, not just We Buy Ugly Houses, but the main keywords ranking on page 1. It just takes a while for Google to recrawl the site and see this metadata, this EXIF data that I've embedded. But yeah, you can go through and see where your main ranks have changed. You can sort by the opposite side and say, okay, let me see if my bad keywords, if the update that I recently did, has it made any bad keywords move up? So let's see. Sell your home, Fort Lauderdale. I was 32 and now I'm 44. So that's not too good. You know, what's happening to my page that's making me drop so quickly? We Buy Houses. It's not a good search volume example. So that's a good search volume example. Sell my house fast, Denver, 39, 39, 30, 30, 30, 30, 34. It's pretty stable from 50s going up. I don't think this one has updated the GPS data and alt image text updates that I just showed you. I don't think Denver's done that yet. Otherwise, I might go to page 1 or page 2 for this one also. But this is really useful to keep track. And if you wanted to see the ones you moved down on because you're worried that you're moving out of position on some keywords, you could also do the opposite and sort by moved down. So current rank will sort by the highest rank keywords that are moving down, which is bad. We don't want a high ranking keyword to move down. So someone's brand name, I'm moving down on that. Sell my house ASAP, I moved down 1. Let's see, are there any big ones? 11. So I went from 7 to 11, but I normally am around 17 For Sell My House Fast Milwaukee. Yeah, that one's really floating around right now because I'm not local. It just recently updated me for the photo GPS embeds. So that's why Google's trying to figure me out right now. It's trying to understand if I'm local or not, I think, right now. 8 positions, but there's no search volume, so who cares? And Milwaukee, let's see, another high search volume, 590, cash for houses, Milwaukee. So I was at 29, 37, page 4, and then page 2. And I'm basically between the bottom of page 2, close to page 3. And this has not bumped up yet. But if I really wanted to, cash for houses, Milwaukee, as an example, I can go just type in Control F to see if I have an exact match. And guess what? I'm actually on page 2, but I don't have an exact match on the page. Isn't that crazy? All I have to do is on a headline and a description somewhere, on an image alt text, go modify one, and then that is how I can creep up to page 1 for this keyword also. So that's why it's really cool to update your keywords in Google Search Console for what you're actually ranking for today, this past week, on an updated level to see what's actually rising. And then go through your data and say, okay, where can I make improvements? What did I do to improve? And how has that actually changed the rankings? That's what SiteChecker allows you to do. As you can see, very nice, very easily. You could just go look at your top 10 if you want to. So position 1, 2, and 3, and you can see what's really starting to move around. I made those changes like January 20th. I updated Google Search Console keywords right here, and then boom, I have a bunch of top 10 keywords now all of a sudden because I'm looking those up. So I think that just about covers it. Everything you kind of need to know as far as the 4 top softwares. I know this video kind of went on long, but I really wanted to give you guys some value and let you understand the fundamentals of SEO and what softwares you could use to progress your website and help your website really do better. The main things you could do for your website, I'll talk about, in another video as far as, meta title, meta description, headlines, all that good stuff. But hopefully you got some really valuable insights into SEO from this. And really, honestly, go sign up for Google Analytics, Microsoft Clarity, and Google Search Console. It is 100% free. You just need a Gmail account. That's it. And then $20 or $30 a month for SiteChecker. As you can see from what I talked about here, it is really a powerful tool. For $20 a month, that's incredible for just $20 a month. I don't know any software that gives you that much stuff for so cheap. Again, I'm not an affiliate. I'm just going to give you the link down below. But these are the softwares that you need for SEO. And if you have them, you will be successful over time. You just got to analyze your data. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.
Are you looking to get into SEO or Google PPC? Maybe you're building your website right now. I've completed 80 hours of heavy-duty research already done for you. Check out my huge list of 42,000 keywords for SEO and PPC. You'll get the best FAQ search phrases, such as who, can, and how search phrases. And the list of 42,000 keywords will be your Bible for site optimization or PPC campaigns. This list took me over 20 hours to compile, and you could download it instantly. Links in the description below. Down below, you'll also find a list of 500 top ranking real estate websites. This is a Goliath of data. I compiled all 50 states, page 1, top 10 results into one single spreadsheet. You'll find your competitors' page load speed, ranking position, website links, Facebook links, any videos they use, and their backlink profiles. If you want to download any of these spreadsheets, check the links in the description or my pinned comment.